Marty Faranin is a struggling writer with a dream of completing his screenplay, Seven Psychopaths. His best friend, Billy Bickle, is an out-of-work actor who makes ends meet by kidnapping dogs and returning them for reward money. Billy's partner in this scheme is Hans Kieslowski, a religious man caring for his wife, Myra, who is battling cancer. Billy assists Marty with his screenplay, suggesting that he include the Jack of Diamonds killer, responsible for a recent double murder, as one of the seven psychopaths in his story. Marty also creates a character called the Quaker, a man who haunts his daughter's murderer for years, driving the killer to suicide and then slitting his own throat to follow him to hell. Billy and Hans unwittingly steal a Shih Tzu named Bonnie, not realizing it belongs to Charlie Costello, a volatile and dangerous gangster. Billy places an ad in the newspaper asking for psychopaths to share their bizarre stories, hoping to use them in the screenplay. Charlie's henchmen, led by Paolo, track Hans down and threaten to kill him and Marty unless they reveal Bonnie's location. However, the Jack of Diamonds killer intervenes, killing the thugs. Marty and Billy later meet Zachariah Rigby, who responds to the ad and shares his story. Meanwhile, Charlie finds Myra in the cancer ward and kills her when she refuses to give up Hans or Bonnie's whereabouts. Billy then goes to Charlie's house, where he meets his girlfriend Angela, who is also involved with Charlie. After telling her he kidnapped Bonnie, Angela calls Charlie, but Billy shoots her after handing her a playing card, revealing himself as the Jack of Diamonds killer. Back at the warehouse, Charlie mourns Bonnie's absence and discovers packs of playing cards with the Jack of Diamonds missing, realizing that Billy is the Jack of Diamonds. Marty, Billy, and Hans leave town with Bonnie, trying to evade Charlie. Hans reveals that he is the Quaker and survived his suicide attempt, with Marty unknowingly writing his story after hearing it from a drunken Billy. The trio heads into the desert, where Billy suggests ending Seven Psychopaths with a dramatic shootout between the psychopaths and Charlie's forces. Marty and Hans then see a headline stating that Billy is wanted in connection with the Jack of Diamonds murders. Marty confronts Billy, who admits that he adopted the Jack of Diamonds persona and went on a killing spree to inspire Marty for his screenplay. Disillusioned, Marty insists they return home. Meanwhile, Hans has a vision of Myra in a gray place and starts to doubt his belief in the afterlife. Despite Marty's attempts to reassure him that the vision was just a peyote-induced hallucination, Billy, determined to make the climactic shootout a reality, sets fire to their car, stranding them in the desert, and calls Charlie, revealing their location. Billy also claims he caused Hans's hallucination by impersonating Myra, leading Hans to walk away. Charlie arrives alone, carrying only a flare gun in his car. Furious that Charlie didn't bring the men and weapons needed for a proper shootout, Billy shoots him. Hans discovers Charlie's thugs waiting nearby for a flare signal. Marty drives away with the wounded Charlie, intending to get him to a hospital. Realizing the purpose of the flare gun, Billy fires it. Hans pretends to draw a weapon, prompting Paolo to shoot him in front of the police. Before he dies, Hans says, "It isn't gray at all," restoring his faith in the afterlife. Charlie's thugs, now alerted by the flare, head towards Billy, with the police in pursuit. They encounter Marty and Charlie's car on the road, where Charlie reveals he only suffered a flesh wound. With reinforcements, Charlie returns to Billy and Bonnie's location. After a shootout, Charlie and Billy face off, each holding Marty and Bonnie hostage. Charlie releases Marty and then shoots Billy just as the police arrive. Charlie and Paolo are arrested, but Bonnie remains by the dying Billy's side. Marty later visits the site of Hans's death and finds a tape recorder on his body containing suggestions for seven psychopaths. Marty eventually finishes the screenplay at home and adopts Bonnie as his pet. Script in hand, he steps outside and walks down the street. In a post-credits scene, Zachariah, having watched Seven Psychopaths, calls Marty and threatens to kill him on Tuesday for failing to leave a message in the credits as promised. However, after hearing Marty's resigned acceptance, Zachariah realizes that Marty has been profoundly changed by his experiences and decides to spare him.